Hi everyone, Professor Hosmer here. I've been getting some questions regarding how to actually process the TCP payload or UDP payload that would be part of a IP packet. So remember, in our example that I gave you, this is the setup program that I've expanded a little bit. If we have a frame type, for example, IP version 4, could be IP version 6, but everything we're working on this week is IP version 4. It has a certain structure. If in that structure the transport of that particular packet is TCP, okay, then we can actually get that particular payload. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually run this script to this point and kind of show you how to get the next level information from this process. So I'm going to go ahead and run this script. It's going to ask me what PCAP file that I want to use. I'm going to use test.pcap. This is one of the PCAPs that I've provided you that I simplified the name. So in this particular packet, we can look at this particular IP packet that we got. We extracted this. I gave all this to you. I have a source IP and a destination IP address. We have a protocol and we have a transport. So in this particular case, since the transport was TCP, that's the transport portion of the protocol, we can now get additional information. So if the transport is equal to TCP, which in this particular packet it is, I can print out that this is a payload is TCP. So the question is then, how do I get some of the other information that I want to get from this particular packet? The main information that I'm interested in is source and destination port, right? Because that'll give us the communication port that was used during this TCP communication. So because we're using PCAP file, the library that I provided you with, I can basically use TCP, and I can say .tcp unhexify the IP packet payload. Since I have an IP packet, and I have a payload, and now that I know that the payload is formatted for TCP, I can actually get the TCP packet information from that. So now I can put my cursor over TCP packet, and it tells me that I have got a transport. And now I can use that particular object, that TCP packet object that I just created by unhexifying the data, and I can pull out the source and destination port, and then I could print them out if I wanted to. So in this particular case, the packet payload is TCP. The port, the source port is 502, and the destination port is 49528. You got more work to do here, obviously, in basically taking the next steps to decode what those port meanings are. But that gives you at least the first step. And it also gives you a really big hint on how you might do this for UDP, which is the only other packet type that you have to take to the next level because it has information in it for source and destination port. The others, ICMP and ARP, do not. Either one of those protocols use ports in order to communicate. So you can do a little research on those protocols if you want, ICMP and ARP, but I've already provided you with, in the sample, what fields are available in the ICMP packet, which are of none of interest, and the same thing in the ARP packet. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a hint on how to actually start to process packets that have other information in them, specifically in the transport side of the packet, that's how you would do it using the PCAP file library that we loaded at the top of this particular script, which is here. So we can decode IP, TCP, and UDP transports. You notice that I can get information from the Ethernet layer, get information from the network layer, the IP layer that we've already extracted data, and then I can get information from the transports. The two protocols that are supported are TCP and UDP. So hopefully that quick little video gives you some basis going forward, just in case you're having trouble getting started. Have a good day.